Good morning, everyone. I would like to welcome you all to this initiative that College Dunia had taken forward, our initiative of thoughts and education. Today, we have with us not one but two people from the All India Management Association, the MAT. So, you people know that MAT is an examination conducted for the management that people take for their admission into management colleges. So I would request. So today we have with us Mr. Raj Agarwal, who is the director CMS, and Mr. Sanjeev Pathak, who is the director CMS and IT. So welcome, sir. Welcome to the virtual meeting that we are having, and I would request you also please give us a short brief about your profile.
I'm Dr. Raj Agarwal. Currently, I am heading education vertical of AIMA, that is known as Education CME vertical. We have PGDM program, we have PGDITM program, we have PhD program, and also we are offering 1-year programs for working professionals as well as non-working professionals. Along with these programs, we too conduct a lot of training programs, management development programs. We too do a lot of research work. These programs are recognized by All India Council for Technical Education, and also PhD is offered in collaboration with the Aligarh Muslim University. So we have around more than 2,500 students, those who are studying in these programs. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Sanjeev Pathak. I am a director for Center for Management Services in All India Management Association, that is AIMA. Center for Management Services basically takes care of all the testing and assessment activities for various programs of AIMA as well as for various universities, B schools all across the country. As well as we also deal with various ministries of Government of India for their various activities such as recruitments and assessments, skill assessments, etc., etc. Apart from that, we also conduct our prestigious and a flagship management aptitude test that is called MAP, which is being conducted since last about 30 odd years, which is recognized and endorsed by Ministry of HRD and then Ministry of HRD, now it is Ministry of Education. And it is also recognized by various regulatory bodies like AICTE also, as well as Supreme Court of India. And so it is one of the most prestigious tests in the country for admissions for MBA and PGDM courses all across the country. So this is a brief introduction about myself. So Apurva, you can.
Thank you, sir. So now I can starting with the questions that we have for you. And so first thing I would like to mention, we are very happy to have you here. I have gone through your profile and heard that you people have a vast experience in different domain in business, education, and everything. And I hope the people who are seeing and viewing this interview will learn from your NCTOs and your past experiences. So my first question for Mr. Raj is, sir, with the post-COVID development that we are having, so what will be the major post-COVID development in Indian education system? What are some of the major challenges and hopeful positive that we can take out from the COVID?
Here, Apurva, I'll answer this question focusing on this management education. Although what has happened that in last 1 year, this entire spectrum of this higher education, this has changed. Earlier, there was a talk of this full-time program, there was a talk of this part-time program, and then there was a talk of distance learning program. But what has happened that COVID has forced us to use the technology. So because of this technology, all kinds of programs that has become more or less a kind of this online program. So first of all, there is an impact as far as this medium is considered. So then technology intervention, digitization in higher education, and particularly in management education, this is first major change. Second important change which we have seen there is a drop in admissions for 2 years programs, specifically in this PGDM MBA program, but number of admissions in this 1 year program, this is going up. So this is what that giving an indication that job profile of students, this is changing. Job profile of students, this is changing. More or less, it appears that companies, they want more specialized, more skill-based courses. So therefore, students, they are opting for 1 year programs, short duration programs, specialized programs, rather than going for longer duration programs of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Third important aspect, this is what that a kind of this innovation. New education policy has also come. So there is a quite substantial scope. First, that lot of innovation and this technology has done in this education sphere that has taken place. And these innovation, when there is going to be a normal situation, part of these innovation, this is going to stay. So that's why this emerging technology or emerging medium, this is going to be a blended learning mode of education. And there is an advantage that through this blended learning education, the students, they can have access of best faculty, not only India, but all over the world.
Rightfully said, sir. So my next question for Mr. Sanjeev, sir, is, sir, we are talking about innovation and we are talking about technology. So are we planning to take MAT completely online into the coming future?
Actually speaking, Apurva, it's a good idea when we talked about completely digitization or automation of conducting the way we conduct MAT. Earlier, when we started conducting MAT, we started with the paper-based test, and subsequently we introduced about around 20 years back, we introduced a computer-based test also. But during pandemic, our hands were tied. I mean, we could not even conduct the paper-based test as well as the computer-based test because the restrictions were there for the students to go out and to the testing centers and take the test. So that is why we introduced a remote proctored internet-based test during the pandemic, and it has got a tremendous response from all the fraternities of the institutions as well as from the students all across the country. So that is why we intend to continue with remote proctored internet-based test. But at the same time, there are certain elements, certain geographies of the country where the internet bandwidth is not sufficient. The students' psychology or the intentions or inclination towards taking the test in the internet-based test or sitting at home and giving the test, the facilities are not there, the equipments are not there, equipments are not available, the accessibility of these various devices are not there. So that is why we do not intend to stop paper-based test and computer-based test. We will continue with all the three modes like paper-based test, computer-based test, as well as internet-based test, which is a remote proctored internet-based test. In times to come.
I believe with the internet penetration increasing in India and the Jio and all other players decreasing their data cost and like going into the mining data business, I believe this problem will be resolved into the coming time. So my next question, adding to the same is it possible for a student to take both online and offline exam for the same MAT session?
Absolutely, yes. I would rather recommend students to go for both the modes simultaneously, I mean in the one session itself, because we are giving the facility to the students to give a MAT test in both the modes, whether it is computer-based test or a paper-based test or a internet-based test. We encourage students to give the test in both the modes because for the single reason that by giving both the modes, they are anyways improving their scores. If I give a MAT test in IBT and if I give a MAT test in CBT or PBT mode or any one of these modes, my score is going to improve every time. So that is the major advantage, and that is why I strongly recommend that students should come forward and give the test in multiple modes. in order to improve their scores. Because ultimately, whenever they apply for the institution, these schools or universities, their best of the score is taken for granted for their admissions. So it is always essential, always beneficial, always advisable for the students to give a multiple mode test in a session.
Right. Great, sir. So my second question for Mr. Rasav is, sir, we were talking about specializations and we were talking about the courses for 1 year, 2 year program. So my question is, when the pandemic ceases out or is over, the industry will rush to being the normal. What, in your opinion, will be some of the in-demand specializations for MBA PGDM? In my opinion, what I believe is that the shift will be to the niche specializations such as AI and data science. So what is your opinion on the same? Will the market remain same as the specializations which were into picture like MBA, HR, marketing, or will it shift to the niche courses?
Actually, your assessment is 100% correct. In fact, if you see that this entire approach that comes, and this is a kind of this outcome-based approach, and specifically in management and technical education, first of all, that what industry is looking. And industry, we have seen that not only in India, but this is a global trend, that there is a digitization, there is a industrial revolution 4.0, and then this has resulted into a kind of this adoption of this artificial intelligence, this blockchains, this data analytics, big data, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence also. So over the period of time, what has happened, that most of these industries, they have started demanding. Right? So there is a two kind of approach means from the freshers, that those who have done MBA or PGDM, so whether they have done any kind of specialization in these disruptive technologies, whether they have done a specialization in artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc. or not, right? Second approach is this, that fine, if they are not going to get the adequate skilled professionals in this area, so fine, if not 2 years needed, so means that marketing, HR, remaining things as a training they can learn. But what is most important part, that they want to use most of these freshers in these areas. So means that if somebody has done this 6 months course, somebody has done this 1 year course, right? So then they are going to demand it. The emerging specialization which we see, there is a fintech, a lot of this B schools, top B schools, like this IIM Calcutta, this is what SP Jain, they have launched this program, fintech program, and others, they too are following this cyber security. This program, this has been launched, right? Even in this healthcare, this program, this has been launched, this 1 year programs, this 6 months programs within this management. And then of course the programs like this artificial intelligence, programs like this big data, programs like this machine learning, programs like this blockchain, right? So this is what a kind of this new shift, this is taking place. It is not only in case of this corporates, big corporates, but in case of this MSME sector also, this is what that how this blockchain, this can be used for improving the supply chain management. Likewise, in case of this food processing industries, how this artificial intelligence, this blockchain, this can be used. This artificial intelligence, how this can be used in this agriculture, for this water management, for this fertilizer management, for seeds management, predictability of this crop. So there are so many areas where currently there is a scope. So means that those who are the professionals, so industry, both large as well as this small scale industries, or even this food processing industries, even services sector also. So they are looking for these kind of graduates and these kind of this specialization. So this is one of the reasons that these specializations are in great demand. There is also a 1 year program, there is also a 6 months program, right? And then there is also a specialization offered in 2 years program. There are the standalone 2 years programs offered by these by various institutes. And what is most important part, that AICT, they have also this updated their curriculum. And in engineering colleges, they have not only introduced these programs, but they have also introduced a very comprehensive faculty development programs in these emerging areas, both in PGDM as well as in this engineering colleges. These kind of courses have been introduced.
Okay, rightfully said, sir. That is great to hear that. So, Sanjeev sir, I just want to know what do you believe if someone is like trying to get admission into a good MBA PGDM college? So, what, in your opinion, is an appropriate preparation strategy for MAT so that one can get into their dream college, dream MBA colleges?
Yeah, actually it's a good question. To answer that crisply, I will just say that MAT is a very, very prestigious test conducted pan-India. There are over 600 B schools and universities accept MAT score for their admissions to management courses. If a student is pursuing management course, MAT is a gateway to your management career. That is considered as a gateway to the management career. And if I talk about the MAT test per se, it comprises of 5 sections, namely related to logical aptitude, mathematics, language, data, reasoning, general awareness, and everything. So, but out of these, except for the general awareness, which comprises of environmental studies, all the 4 sections are considered for the calculation of their percentile score. Therefore, one must concentrate on these 4 sections. There are industry relevant sections. However, the general awareness section is also important, as this section assesses the student's capability or ability as to how updated he or she is with the current affairs, which we cannot ignore. And that is why all the sections are important to study as far as MAT is concerned. However, sometimes students are very strong in 1 or 2 sections, and the remaining sections they do very poorly. And this will affect their percentile score. So that is why I would rather recommend and advise students to study all the sections, do well in all these sections, so that their percentile score will be adequate to get an admission to their dream B school. That's how I will advise them.
Mr. Sanjeev sir, what in your opinion is a good MAT score if someone is looking for a good MBA PGDM college?
Traditionally, although it varies between MAT to MAT, because if I consider December MAT, if I consider February MAT, if I consider May MAT, or if I consider the September MAT, a good score, a definition of good score is basically which will fetch an admission to that particular student in his or her dream college, a dream B school. But on an average, if you try to analyze, around 650 to 700 is typically considered as a very good score for any particular student all across the country to get an admission in the desired B school.
Okay. So my next question for Dr. Rajagarwal is, sir, there is a concern which we were also talking about, that online education is not as optimal as offline education medium. So what in your opinion regarding it, and how we can curate a blended learning as well as teaching mechanism for the MBA PGDM?
Actually, this is very relevant question in this sense, because what happened that all of a sudden in this lockdown period, this students have no choice. This institutes, universities, they have no choice. Only choice was that this online education. Now, there are several works, several researches which have been conducted as far as this efficacy of this online education is considered. Now, there are this different kind of opinion. First opinion is this, that fine, one can have this quality program, one can have this assessment and evaluation also online. Another opinion is this, that you see this cultural aspect That is very important part, right? So means that for freshers, unless until they are not going to universities, they are not going to have this campus life. So then their personality development, this is not going to be there. This is the first aspect. Second aspect is this, that you see that it has been noticed that this number of this psychic cases, this is what that students, those who are going in depression because of this loneliness in a home, they are sitting completely on computer and then going on this mental problem. So these are the problems which are emerging because of this online education. So there is a widespread belief that this kind of education is affecting to students very largely. Now, another approach is this, that that as far as this few subjects are concerned, so there this personal attention as well as this physical presence is very, very important. People's like this sciences as well as this maths also, where there is going to be a check as well as this is what that check and balances. So based on that, one can very well identify and understand that what is the level of this concentration, what is this assessment level, etc. But what is happening, the kind of this future direction which is emerging, it is a blended mode. Although this is 100% confirmed that nobody can substitute this physical education, this face-to-face education. What is most important part, that one can blend this face-to-face education with online education by having the access to the best faculty of the world, by having the access whatsoever are the latest researches, because of the distance, because of the cost, one cannot access. So then this online education, this is going to be a best solution. So there is going to be a mix of both online as well as offline. So this is the emerging trend. This is the emerging trend which is going to happen in coming years.
Right, sir. I would also like to take the time and this platform to thank you all as well as the teachers who have taken the extra load and taken the extra step to go online for making it possible for all the students to have the access to the teaching into the lockdown period. So my next question for Mr. Dr. Raj Agarwal is, sir, with the changes in the national education policy, do we expect an increase in the skill-based learning program, or how can we help the student in identify their true potentials? We have seen that after like 30-40 years, there have been changes into the national education. So do you believe that there will be a rise in the skill-based program demand?
Actually, you see that this education policy, this is also a byproduct of the changes in ecosystem which is taking place. Now, ecosystem is becoming more and more focused towards this skill orientation. And this has happened in Germany, this has happened in countries like Australia, this has happened in UK. So now what is happening in India also, that this quite sizable number of students, they are going for higher education. And higher education without skill-based programs is not going to provide the right solution. So here at present, to enhance the employability, to enhance the or to diversify the occupational base of this country, Government of India has introduced several skill-based programs. There is a result, both positive as well as negative. But what is most important, that in this new education policy, a very special emphasis is that I think that from class 6th onward, you see that there is a choice going for this skill-based course, right? There is also a creation of skill-based universities. Then there is a talk of this strengthening ITI system. And then students are going to given the option that how they can choose this skill-based course. Even I was reading that this, instead of going for subjects like this mathematics, one can take this computer also. So means that in their in their curriculum, if this main courses, they can also be substituted by this skill-based courses, right? So means that this is both important in a sense that how this is going to create employment opportunity indigenously in the sense that you can start your own venture, you can start your own work, and then you can also work in various kind of companies, organization. So as I told you in beginning, that level of skill is going to vary from occupation to occupation.
Exactly. I would also like to add in, sir, कि I just wanted to know कि how can an MBA aspirant identify his best suited college? So what do you believe are the key factors that an aspirant should consider before he or her gets the admission?
Here, actually, you see that what is most important part, that definitely this scope of this counseling, this has increased, and then currently the kind of this changes which are taking place. So here, this identifying these colleges, that too is becoming very, very important and significant. Likewise, you see that there are although rating conducted by various organizations, various agencies, and then even Government of India is also highlighting top colleges based on this accreditation, etc. But what is important that maybe one college which is number one, but you want to do specialization in area of fintech, for example, or in area of cyber security, but that particular college is not good in that particular specialization. Another college which is coming in number 10 is very good in fintech. So in our country, we have institutions known by their specialization. Some institute are known that they earlier were known that in HR, this institute is good. In finance, this institute is good. This case-based learning, this institute is good. So likewise, here, important part is what? That one has to, through this counseling or through this is what that identifying their own interest, need to identify that where they want to strengthen their core competencies as well as skills. Then accordingly, for them it is important to identify the institute by taking into consideration this specialization of this faculty and so many parameters which are prevalent here.
Great, sir. Great, sir. So my last but not the least question for Mr. Sanjeev is, sir, can you list few of the top institute where one can get the admission through MAT? And I would also love to know how many times can an aspirant take up the MAT examination?
Yeah. Actually speaking, as I mentioned earlier, there are close to around 600 to 700 B schools in the country who are accepting MAT score. But if I look at the list of B schools which are accepting MAT score, I mean the region wise, if I consider the northern region, let's say for example NDIM, Birla Institute of Management. These are the top B schools the students can opt for. If I consider the southern zone like Bangalore and the related area, then typically the Christ University, Xavier Institute of Management, Alliance University, Rajgiri Business School. These are some of the top institutions where the students can take admission. If I go for the Eastern Zone, then obviously the Xavier Business School, KIIT School of Management, then Institute of Business Management in Kolkata. These are some of the top B schools, some of the top institutions a student can aspire for. And if I consider the Western Zone, then typically the D.Y. Patil Institutes, then MIT World Peace University. These are a couple of top B schools on the list where students normally opt and consider as a top B schools in the respective zones.
And how many times can an aspirant take the MAT examination, sir?
Actually speaking, MAT examination score is valid for 1 year. Normally, we conduct MAT examination 4 times a year. So I would strongly recommend that one particular student, he should give MAT 4 times a year in order to improve his score and get the admission in the best B school that he is desiring of.
And what is the eligibility for the examination?
Eligibility is basically he should be a graduate or appearing for the graduation level of examination, and there should be a minimum percentage or passing percentage for him to appear for MAT. He has to fill up the entire form and appear for MAT examination. As I said, last year during the pandemic, practically every month we were conducting MAT examination through IBT mode, because we knew that the students are sitting at home. They do not have any avenues to go out and take the test. So we opened the facility and the opportunity for the student that they practically took the examination MAT test through their homes practically every month. But unlike that case, in this particular year now, like for example, in February, one of our MAT CBT test is already over. Now the second test is going to be on 6th of March. I would rather urge students that they should go immediately and register for MAT examination, which is going to be conducted on 6th of March, which is on paper-based mode, and then subsequently on the IBT mode, which is starting from 8th of March. So these are the timelines. They should not waste the time. They should immediately go and register for these modes and take the advantage. I would rather say that since we are opening up the opportunities for the student, they should try and take MAT test throughout the year, every session, so that their best of the score can be utilized for taking the admissions of the top B schools.
Okay, thank you for your time, sir. We are very happy to have you here on the virtual platform, and it was a great learning to your experiences from your past experiences. I would like to thank you all on the behalf of the complete College Dunia fraternity. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.